Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. And I come to you from the beautiful Circular Quay. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. Those jacaranda trees are in their at their spectacular best, and they're in full blossom. How beautiful is that? Anyway, let's go for a bit of a walk and talk and a bit of a chit chat. And today I want to have a talk to you about a topic that I've got near and dear to my heart. And it's an unusual topic. It's a topic in terms of personality traits. And only today I discovered that there's a personality trait which sits between introvert and extrovert. And it's called an ambivert, which is really, really interesting, because I've discovered that I was trying to figure out what sort of personality trait I was, and I wasn't comfortable with extrovert, and I wasn't comfortable with introvert, but now I've come across this term which is called an ambivert. And an ambivert is a person who can be an introvert on some occasions, can be an extrovert on other occasions, and can flip-flop between these two personality traits, which is exactly where I sit on the spectrum of introversion and extroversion, because there are times where I am the extrovert. And the time that I'm an extrovert is when I'm on a dance floor, when I'm leading a class at upper size, when I've had a few drinks and I'm just feeling like I want to have a bit of a laugh and being quite funny. But the other thing that I've also learnt in my life is that there are times where I'm shy, I'm reserved, and I just want to be on my lonesome, on my own, to do things and to basically enjoy my own solitude. So there you go. I've discovered that I enjoy both ends of the spectrum, depending on the time and place, the company, and who I'm surrounded with. And I've got to tell you, that makes me feel really, really good, because I wasn't comfortable being an extrovert at all times, because I know that I can't be an extrovert at all times. I need some time out. I need some time to myself. I need some creative time where I can sit down and do whatever I want to do without being overstimulated by outside influences, because I want time to stimulate myself, so to speak, and to basically be self-directed and to run off my own energy sources. And there are other times, as I said before, where I lead a dance fitness class for a number of songs, where I'm in my element and I just explode and become, I guess for many people, a completely different person. And I guess I attribute that to being an only child. Growing up as an only child, I had to make do with what I had around me in terms of my surroundings. And there are times where I was surrounded by alpha type people who themselves were extroverts, and I guess you learn from these sorts of personality traits what works, what doesn't work, and you take it on board and you incorporate it in your personality style. And I guess there were other times where I was on my own for hours on end, because my parents worked 7 days a week, and I'd have to make do with my own company. I distinctly remember times of the year around about Christmas time, New Year's time, when I'd go down to my friend's place there at Kingsgrove, and they'd be away. They'd be away on holidays for a couple of weeks, and I'd have to make do and try and find things to do just to fill the time as a young boy, because all of my mates had gone on holidays with their parents, and because my parents worked 7 days a week, they had businesses and things like that, then I either had to be with them in the shop, working with them, or just had to make do and just fill in my own time with either watching television, doing cartoons, going for push bike rides, going for a ride on my scooter, or trying to catch up with mates and organise time with others. I guess I was lucky because I had an opportunity to spend time with family and friends. I had my uncles and aunts and grandparents to look forward to, but once again they were also busy. They had their shops and things to keep them busy. But I did mix with lots of different people when I was growing up, lots of adults and lots of people my age, and I guess it gave me a broad scope and an opportunity to pick up skills and traits from other people and incorporate them into my personality inventory type, and be in a position where I can use them as and when I needed them to get by in life. But there you go. In terms of what works most, it all depends on the situation. But there are times, and I do admit it, there are times where I've been very, very shy growing up, and other times where I've fully expressed all of my being. I guess in sports, that's why I love sports like karate, martial arts. I love all the physical sort of sports, rugby league, rugby union, being in a team sport or being in a individual sport. I've loved both aspects. You know, I can sit and swim for 100 laps, for example, and be totally isolated and totally immersed in my own world. And I can also be out with people and chit-chatting away all day. So depending on the situation, depending on the social circle, I can be introverted and I can be extroverted at the drop of a hat. So there you go. I don't know what everybody else is or how they see themselves, but it's quite beautiful to be able to have a think and have a look at who you are as a personality type. And I welcome you, and I challenge you to also have a look to see and discover the personality type that you are as well. I think on a percentage basis, probably about a third of the population are introverted, people who don't want to be overstimulated, and probably another third sit in the other quadrant, which are the ones who love to stimulate and be stimulated and be in a stimulating environment. And there are also probably people like myself which sit in the middle, which can flip-flop between one and the other. And I guess from a work perspective, it's important to understand what sort of personality type you are, to understand and to know what sort of work environment, what sort of family environment, what sort of social environment you fit into best. So, if you're an introvert, then chances are that you may not want to be in a work environment or a family environment. which is highly stimulative, which has a lot of stimulation, has a lot of energy, and vice versa. If you're a person who's an extrovert, then you'd probably die. You'd die of boredom being in an environment where there's a lack of stimulation. But I'm happy. I'm happy where I sit. I'm happy that I'm an ambivert, one who can be happy in both an environment which is highly stimulated and stimulating, and also in an environment where I can be a loner and create my own magic. Anyway, let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, and have an assessment. Assess yourself in terms of where you sit on the spectrum of introvert, extrovert, and ambivert, and discover what works for you and what works best for you, and make the most of that. And I guess I'll leave it there for now. So thank you very much for joining me, and I look forward to chatting with you again tomorrow on Jim's 5am Club, where I'll come to you from another location and we'll talk about another topic. Hopefully it'll be a topic that'll be uplifting and empowering, and a topic which will allow us all to find out who we are, what works for us, and to understand and respect the people around us. So once again, thank you very much for joining me on today's journey, and I look forward to chatting to you again very, very soon. Yasas from Jim's 5am Club, and Tatapume. We'll talk again. Bye for now.